to WWE 2K24 roster drafting and setup. How we are going to do it this year is very simple. The champions will be as followed. The championships. So we're going to take, for the men's division will be the World Heavyweight title, just like in real life. And also the Intercontinental, just like real life. Tag teams we're going to scrap, but I might bring them in. We'll see how I feel. At the minute, we're going to keep them as is, not at the moment, but we'll see, depending on how many tag teams there are by the end. And the women's title will be the other one. For SmackDown, it'll be the WWE / Undisputed Championship, whatever it is they have. I'm hoping the Undisputed one. Then the United Kingdom instead of the United States, because of our general manager is going to be William Regal. And women's world title. So pretty much only the two titles which are switching are the women's in real life, and obviously United Kingdom instead of the United States will be the titles. I might put in the other ones later in, like the United States may switch depending on future plan, but at the minute it's going to be United Kingdom title to be defended over on that brand. So let's get into it. I'm going to do all of Raw, then we do all of SmackDown. Okay, it stops crashing. Lovely. Right, take all these people out. Also keep in mind that the rosters overalls will fluctuate throughout the season, but at the minute we'll keep them as they are in the game unless I personally see otherwise. So just keep that in mind. So how we do this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main eventers in total. Potentially 6, including the champion, depending on how I'm going to do it. But in total, at least 5. And then the rest will be mid-card for the men, and then all the women will be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Potentially, including the champion. We'll see how I go. But, yeah, as I say, we're going to try and keep these divisions very tight-knit. I did this in the past on a private one, and I enjoyed it more because I could then rotate the rosters more. And since I didn't do tag teams, it was a lot easier to manage. So just keep that in mind, because I may or may not do tag teams. If you guys want to do tag teams, I'm down, but it might be a push for the next pay-per-view event. May do like a tag team 12 mile for them. Okay, so in this specific order, I'm going to go down the entire list. If they're in the game, happy days. If they aren't, I'll find a replacement. So, first person for Monday Night Raw, of course, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, the main guy in WWE for the faces. So, Cody Rhodes, first guy, and he can't go alone. He's coming in with his good friend, Jey Uso, coming in as well as our next person. Next is a member of Imperium, that's right, Gunther is our next player and superstar for this team. And after that, we have, let's get them all, tonight, Bray Wyatt will be in this. Personally, for me, Bray Wyatt is my favourite guy, man. I loved him so much. And he deserves to be in this roster, so he's coming in. If you've got a problem with it, tough. So Bray Wyatt, also part of the roster. After this one, it's the Mr. RKO himself, Randy Keith Orton, which will be good. And he is in the game. Nice. I didn't know if he would be, I knew he would be in the game, because I looked at the roster before doing this, but I didn't know if I had to play WrestleMania first. So that is nice. RVD, Rob Van Dam, is our final main eventer. So, currently, we have a few people on that roster right now. 6 in total. Who's the other guy? No, look, there, 6. Lovely. So 6 people. One of these guys are champion, just to let you know. One of them are going to become the Negro champion, because I don't want to have it so we have to build up the champions straight away. So I'm just gonna announce the champion on episode 1 or something, or if I can set up it so it doesn't crash on me. So let's get into the rest of the men's roster. Obviously titles, I'll just vacate them when it's time. So straight off the bat is person who recently debuted on SmackDown in real life, Braun Breaker, part of the roster. In my private one, he's won the World Heavyweight title many of times. So hopefully he can do the same in this one, but with 88 overall, might be a bit difficult. Another person from NXT, Carmelo Hayes, is in the game and on our roster. Next after that, his former tag team partner in real life. I don't know if they're tag teams and allies in the game, but if they are, that's a nice little tag team. Good old Trick Williams. Whoop that Trick will be in part of the roster. After that, we're going to bring in a bit of A-Town Down. Austin Theory, part of the roster for this year, and we're going to get a bit of L.A. Knight, yeah. We're part of the roster as well. So welcome in L.A. Knight. In 89 overall, he could definitely be a main eventer with that overall. That's pretty nice. And then speaking of, there is Logan Paul. He comes into the game on our roster, but he won't be holding the United States title, so I'll vacate that when it's time. Another man coming in is a bit of Tommaso Ciampa, 76 overall. Bit harsh on the guy. Another one who never actually won the title in my universe modes. He did win the Intercontinental a couple of times, but he never won the big one, I don't believe. Or he may have done. Can't remember. Another player coming in. Another big potential upper mid main eventer, really. Bobos Lashley comes in, and a little bit of a shock one. In comes Montez Ford. Hopefully we can do something great with Montez Ford in the singles division. Obviously he has his tag team partner Angelo Dawkins and Bobby Lashley, so that trio is available to put in. And if we put in the division, that's handy as well. So the last person for the men's division, we're going in with Cameron Grimes. So that is our entire men's division locked in. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But at the minute, as you can see, 16 teams in it now, so that is nice. We'll adjust titles as and when. We currently have the United States and Intercontinental on both brands, which will not happen, especially that one. That is coming away straight off the bat. And let's look into the women's division for this year. So the women's division last year in my private one was very fun. A lot of mixed people, especially because I rotated. That's what I will be doing a lot. I will rotate every WrestleMania. So once WrestleMania ends, we'll rotate again. And yeah. So again, I'm just doing it based off the order I have them on here. First person, Bianca Belair, probably the big one, straight off the bat. Let's bring in another one, who's also one of the main gods of this division. Charlotte Flair also comes in. So these two are going to be our main, our top two, potentially a top three incoming, with the final person, who is in real life is my favourite. She is one of my favourites. I've watched her since NXT, and she's been great. And she is a current champion in real life. Where is she? Iyo Sky, who actually is the women's champion. So that's handy, because I'll tell you this, she's also going to be the women's champion in the main women's roster this year. So that is nice. Another person who I'm coming in with is Gigi Dolan. If anyone knows my WOW series, where I did a couple episodes on, she was a madness. She was mental, so hopefully she can do something great this year. After that, we bring in a bit of Roxanne. Raquel. No, actually, it isn't Raquel, though. Mad rating of 86, but it's actually Roxanne Perez who joins us, which is good for her. A little bit of a young up and comer. Then we bring in one of the most eccentric of the women's division, Liv Morgan, backed up with Piper Niven, who's then backed up with Shayna Baszler, so another heavy hitter. And the last person, a new up-and-comer this year in the roster, and I don't really know her too well, but Tia Hill, I'm going to go with. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong there, but that is the division done. 4 matches in total, 25 persons card. Titles I'll sort out eventually, but the game's crashing too often, so I'll probably do that off screen. But you know what? I'll announce the champions now with this in mind. So, World Heavyweight Champion is going to be Gunther to start us off this season. Intercontinental will be Tommaso Ciampa, and of course, Iyo Sky will also be the WWE Women's Champion. So they will be our champions for this season. Let's head into SmackDown. And as you can see, 4 people on the roster. I'm not sure how the matches go on. You can find that out later. So let's take off all of these people. Right. So our division for SmackDown will go. You know what? We'll do the women first. Why not? We did the men's last time. We'll do the women's this time. So again, what I have is the core people. So originally, if you think back, they always were the 4 horsewomen. So you would have Sasha, Bayley, Becky, Charlotte as your 4 core, then everyone else around them. I've kind of done the same this year, where Charlotte and Bianca, so Bianca takes Sasha's spot in this. She becomes the new 4 horsewomen kind of core people. So we always have at least 2 of the 4 horse, at least the new 4 horsewomen, as I'm going to call them in this world universe, up on either end, so that you can kind of guess where this is going based off that knowledge. So as I've just said, 4 horsewomen, the future 4 horsewomen have arrived, which are Bayley and Becky Lynch so they're the 2 on the other end on SmackDown side. So Bianca is the replacement for Sasha Banks in this scenario. But so Bayley and Becky Lynch, the first 2 people on, and they were actually the first 2 people I thought of straight away. So after that, we do go a little bit further down in the C column, and that is Cora Jade. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to be our NXT, the new version of NXT Cora Jade. I don't know yet. I'll find out as we play on. But I feel for this girl, she's been injured so much that hopefully I can make a star out of this girl, out of Cora, and make her something great. So if she does have the skateboard gimmick, fine, but I'm hoping she has the new one. Either way. Speaking of, let's speak of injury people, and people can try and rebuild their entire career over, and that is Tegan Nox. I'm very excited that Tegan Nox is still in the game. 77 overall, quite low, but I'm actually quite happy considering she's had tons of injuries. So 2 injury-prone superstars in the women's division. Hopefully I can rebuild them in this universe mode in some way. After that, we actually have probably the most talked about woman in the Elimination Chamber, Tiffany Stratton. She's a mega star in the making. She's in our SmackDown side. So Tiffany joins the roster. So we've got so far Becky Lynch, Bayley, Cora Jade, Tegan Nox, Tiffany Stratton, and we've got a couple more incoming, such as the psychotic one, also known as Nikki Cross. 62 overall, brutal, but bless her. I might change that overall, excuse me, at least a 70. But Nikki Cross, the deranged one, has arrived. You know what I realised? Rhea Ripley's not been picked this year. I'm just looking now, the Rhea Ripley's is not on the roster at all. That's bonkers. But fair. You know what? We're trying to change it up a bit. So next we got, going up here, Candice LeRae, one in universe mode, and that private one did really well. 67 on here though, brutal, bless her. And that's Chelsea Green is the final one, with one more person, Dakota Kai, one of my favourites recently. And could we potentially, if we do women's tag teams, we're not, by the way, before you ask, we're not doing that collectively titles, but Team Kick could still form a sort of alliance. So yeah, that is our women's division done. So let's go quickly down them. Bayley, Becky Lynch, Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green, Cora Jade, Dakota Kai, Nikki Cross, Tegan Nox, and Tiffany Stratton. So no Rhea Ripley on either brand, which is big. Obviously they can come in the future. No Alexa Bliss, no Asuka, no Beth Phoenix. Really big names are not on here. I think for me, this year is, I just want to use superstars, to be honest. But we can easily bring some in. That's not a problem at all. So let's get into the next kind of the big 5 main eventers this year. And again, I'm going to go in order in the order I drafted them in. This will be no surprise whatsoever, but it is the tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. How I'm going to book Roman is potentially just not have them on all the time. I kind of don't like it, but you could see them like, you may not see them week to week, but you could see them overall. I don't know how I'm going to book Roman yet, but he is on there as the big target for this year. But is he the champion for this year? We'll find out. Could be one of them ones where we could bring in Roman whenever I want. Special attraction, but I don't know yet. Next person, AJ Styles, 85 overall this year. Another solid pick. Another one who can drop down in that mid card, come up. Nice good floater on either end, can go all between, which is what you want sometimes, a bit of versatility. And the next person on here is Drew McIntyre, another one who can potentially bounce between the United Kingdom title and the World Heavyweight and WWE titles. So another one who can go both, but I think I'm going to keep him as high as possible on the roster. After that, we've got the prize fighter Kevin Owens, one of the best overall movesets, characters in my opinion. KO is one of my faves, and I loved him last year, loved him the year before, loved him the year after that. Like, every time I have this guy on here, because you can just book him as like any way you want with Kevin Owens. Good guy, bad guy. I really like him as a good guy. I like this version of Kevin Owens, where he's a prize fighter when he has to be, but he's there for his family. So that's what I like. Next, we're going to bring in someone else who Kevin Owens knows quite well. It's a bit of Sami Zayn. They're a tag team, by the way, so that's nice. So we could do tag teams this year. And lastly, the current World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins, is also here, which is also mental. So, just to go off the list for this one, it's Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn as your big main eventers this year. Obviously, we can float between, we can drop more people in the other divisions, we can see how it goes. So, I will sort out the divisions off camera, titles will sort out off camera. I will announce the champions once everything's sorted. Actually, you know what? I'll announce the champions now for the women and the men's main, the main event title. So, main event champion for the men, the one who will be holding the gold and locking down, is actually going to be Kevin Owens this year. So, I'm going to start with KO as our champion, and we'll try and build him up to be this prize fighter who wants to fight everyone but must hold the belt at the same time. See how that works, especially with the new rivalry system. I'm hoping it will play ball, but we'll see. Sorry for that. Next, women's champion is Bayley. My girl Bayley will be our women's champion this year. So again, one of the OGs, one of the best. Let's be honest. I think she's very underrated. And two members of Damage Control on opposite brands, both going to be champions though. Will we see them? Iyo Sky is gone from Damage Control as of right now. Obviously, they're still there as a group, but in real life, in the universe mode type, got them. So they could still pop up as managers, but they're not allowed to wrestle. Just to let you guys know on that. Right, let's get into the rest of the men's division. And again, I'm going to try and just filter it based off what we've got here. So straight away, we have got Baron Corbin comes in. Another one in my private one. Did decently well with the United States title. Tried to build him up and rebuild him back to what he used to be, in my opinion, which was the Lone Wolf. New theme. Hopefully a new moveset, new look. We could see what we can do with Baron Corbin this year. Potentially put him up. My goal is to try and get him to a decent level. Another person, low overall. But of course he's going to be a low overall. He's 78. It is Big E. A guy who is great. Hopefully he can come back soon. In real life, a guy again who can stay in the lower, can go up. Two people, in my opinion, who my goal is to at least get one of them to the main event scene, or at least book them decently to the main event scene. Another person on this list is a guy from NXT again. I don't know where he would be. But there he is, Joe Gacy. So Joe Gacy, I don't know how he's gonna be. I don't know what gimmick he's using this time round. So it will be intriguing. I'm guessing it's a cold gimmick still, but Joe Gacy, part of the division. And whilst we're here, I might as well bring in the other person who starts with J, Johnny Gargano. So, the DIY split on the rosters. They are split at the moment. Again, tag teams. I don't know if I want to do a separate tag team division or merge them together. We'll see. But at the minute, DIY gone, split off, don't exist at the moment. Next person on here I see is Karrion Kross. Another one who could do much better in real life, would be great, but really he's boring, so let's try and make him something intriguing. So Karrion Kross, another person on the roster. Speaking of a rebuild, I don't know if he needs a rebuild, but I'll say based off his overall, in real life he's great. In real life he is a champion. He's 81 this year. That stings, you know. Ilya Dragunov, though, part of the division, 81 overall. I swear he was like 89 last year. Obviously they're doing their reset this year. But Ilya Dragunov, the NXT champion, obviously not going to be the NXT champion when Universe Mode really kicks on. But Dragunov is in here. So is this man, Kofi Kingston. Good old reliable Kofi Kingston. I'm going to try. I don't know what I'm going to do with Kofi, but I'm intrigued to what we could do. And speaking of intriguing, and speaking of United Kingdom, you saw a couple of people who could be here. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well bring in Solo Sikoa, because he's also on the list. Solo, so 2 members of the Bloodline here. No Jay though, as on the other roster, and Jimmy not drafted at all. But there is a lot of UK talent this year, and I'm intrigued about Wolfgang. I've not watched him. I know nothing about him, but I'm intrigued. I know he's in a faction, because I've just looked at the factions about 5 minutes ago, before I did this. So, Wolfgang is here. Again, tag teams, let me know what you want me to do with it. So, that's everyone, really. That is all of them. It should roughly round up to 24, 25. Who am I missing? Another Brit. And that is... where is he? Part of Newcastle Republic in real life. I do like the name. Tyler Bate, last guy in here. So, as you can see, UK themed. We are doing UK themed for this one. So, but yeah, that's our roster. Champions will be as followed for SmackDown. Kevin Owens, the World Heavyweight Undisputed WWE Champion. Don't know how it's actually pronounced. We're just going to go WWE Champion. United Kingdom Champion, because that's what division I want, is Karrion Kross. I know he's not British. Deal with it. That's the whole point. And finally, Women's Division is Bayley. So there are our 3 champions. 4 matches, because that's how many rivalries there are. Tag teams, as I say, will be implemented eventually. Might just do a tournament. Don't know. Let me know what you guys want me to do. But yeah, that's kind of it, really. The first pay-per-view is Backlash. And then after that, Night of Champions, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Payback, Fastlane, Survivor Series, nothing in December, Royal Rumble, then Elimination Chamber, Then after that, WrestleMania. That is it. All of them. Why Seth Rollins there? He shouldn't be here. It just hasn't updated. Okay, so might be just because he's a champion. Actually, now I think about champions. Yeah, will be. Right, let's do the champions now. Unless it crashes on me. No, it hasn't. Gunther is the champion. Let's do Tommaso Ciampa. Again, tag teams. Let me know, people, what you want me to do with the tag team division. At the minute, it's going to be vacant. So, yes, vacated that. Women's champion, Rhea Ripley, never even drafted this year. Brutal for her. Feel for the girl. But I want to bring more in. Then vacate and vacate. So these are your champions. Tag team division, unsure yet. Let's do the divisions while we're here. So yes, boom, 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 boom. So just get everything set up straight away, and then we can get going with episode 1 sometime in the week. Is there a way to filter it? No. Jay, Cody. I said Gunther's the champion. Bray, Randy Orton, and RVD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus Gunther. There's 6. Lovely. Take you all out, and the rest go in here, like all of them. Why is Gunther there? I don't know. Gunther should not be there at all. And then obviously the women. And that's there. So there you go. So that's your division. Obviously, rankings, overalls happen. But that's how we're going to do it for the first bit. Let's just save that. Lovely. We'll sort the divisions out later. Again, I don't know why that's happening. We'll mess around with that. Later date. Edit show. Is it going to let me do it? Or is it going to crash? No, it's not crashing yet. Lovely. So, Mr. Kevin Owens. Bang. Then it's United Kingdom. It would be fun to have a unit, because it would have been funny, but no. So, United Kingdom, Karrion Kross, again, go, and then a Women's Championship with Rhea Ripley is not our champion, it is Bayley. Save. And also regarding Money in the Bank, we'll come to that when it's time. But yeah, that's kind of how we're doing it. Let's do the divisions. We'll do the women's division first because that'll be easy. I will say, not as strong as I thought for the women's division. Becky will just be on number 1, then Tiffany, Tegan Knox. We'll mess around with it afterwards. Let's do the men's division next for SmackDown. Here we go. Seth, Roman. No shocks there. Drew, another great person. And Sami Zayn. Am I missing someone? I'm missing someone somewhere. Where am I missing? AJ. AJ Styles, and then Sami Zayn. Where's Sami Zayn? There he is. than everyone else. Bang. And that's our division. Everything's set up, ready to go. 4 matches will be on the card only. I'll edit all the matches off, but it's going to be 4 matches no matter what, and we'll get things going from there. That has been the first episode 0. Thanks for all for watching. If you have any ideas what you want me to do with the tag division, let me know. You know what, let's have at least a look at the tag division so you guys have an idea what we could do. Skip. So, obviously, women's division off the market. Tag team division, these guys are on both brands. Just keep that in mind. Alpha Academy, Bloodline, Brawling Boots, Briggs and Jensen, Chase U, Creed Brothers, D'Angelo and Lorenzo. Damage Control, 2 people on different brands. Keep that in mind. Gallus, that could work. Again, Imperium, that could work. Industria, that could work. Judgment Day, none of Judgment Day drafted, which I just realised is mental, but hey, I don't mind changing it up a bit. LWO, again, a lot of roster members on there, so you can do what you want. Los Alios, I'm pronouncing that wrong, apologies. New Day, could do something New Day because they are on the same brand. NWO, that doesn't matter. The OC, women's tag divisions is not happening. Pretty Deadly, that's not happening. Street Profits could happen as well. Viking Raiders. So you do have options for tag teams if you want me to do something with them. But you guys can let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care.